Hey, it's Logan Christopher from LegendaryStrength.com, and I have with me today Rick Kaselj, who is the exercises for injuries guy. And I wanted to take a moment to talk to him about that and how he can help you if you happen to have any sort of injury out there. So how did you get into this, being the exercise for injury guy?
Well, I think number one thing is I do my best to avoid injury. So I make
That's a good tip.
I make sure I do not juggle flaming kettlebells, I do not pull fire trucks, and I do not bend any type of steel. So that's like my number one tip.
Not to say you shouldn't do those, just do them smartly.
Where it all end up evolving is, I mean, I'm an active individual. I like sports, I like lifting weights, and I would, you know, if you push yourself, you're going to injure yourself. I mean, I don't know anyone that has not been injured. And if you do not get injured, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. And so what would happen was I couldn't run to the doctor every single time that I had an ache or a pain or a tweak or a pull. I kind of needed to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I would try to rehab myself or fix myself, and that's kind of where this injury thing would happen. I tweak my back, so I try to figure out how to fix my back, or I tweak my shoulder and I try to figure out how to fix my shoulder. And then as people found out about that I kind of I had success with myself, and that's what I enjoyed and kind of specialized in, I would end up having more and more training clients that had that. They're like, okay, I need to exercise and lose weight, but I have this back problem. What exercises should I do or not do? So that's how the evolution ended up happening when it comes to this injury thing. And I avoid the
right. Well, you gotta avoid the injuries, but also it is really a process, because injuries can be a teacher for really what you need to learn to get your body better.
Yes.
No, not just out of the pain, but how to avoid that in the future and all sorts of things like that.
I mean, it ends up being, you end up learning from your injuries. On, you know, all of us are kind of unique and different, and like what works for you might not work for someone else. So you might have a training program and follow the training program, but you might respond better to stretching, or you might respond better to foam rolling, or you might respond better to a certain type of exercise. You need to kind of find out what works for you. And you know, when it comes to working out, you get the cumulative of benefits. So let's say you keep working out and you get stronger and stronger, but the negative aspect of it is you a lot of times end up building more and more tension. So you kind of get stiffer and stiffer. And if you look at the people that are more likely to get injured, if you look at professional athletes, the athletes that are loose are less likely to get injured than the ones that are all tight and wound up.
Right.
So you kind of need to find out, you know, keep doing the stuff you enjoy, but you also need to find the stuff that helps you recover or avoid kind of getting injured.
Right. Is that the number one thing that stops people from achieving their goals? When you say it's injuries.
It's injury.
It's injuries.
It's injury. Yeah.
So you've developed programs for basically every single injury in the body, right?
Every single
very
one. Ongoing injury.
What did you call yourself? The Home Depot of
injuries.
So right, coming up in a few days from when we do this, you have a new knee injury. You want to say a little thing about that?
Yeah. And so it evolved from, you know, as people found out that I help with these injury side of things, well, people kept approaching me for more and more injuries, or solutions for injuries. Right. So I help people with shoulders, and then the next most common, well, number one is back, and then after back, it's usually like knee and shoulder. And people had a lot of positive responses from the shoulder, so they started asking about the knee. So in a couple weeks, myself and Mike Westerdahl are releasing Fix My Knee Pain, and what it does is it ends up helping people overcome knee pain. And the big mistake that people often make is they approach all knee injuries the same. And there's probably 60% overlap on what you should do with all knee injuries. But the knee injuries fall into 3 different categories. So you need to find out if you have like a ligamentous injury, like an internal knee pain injury, or if you end up having like anterior knee pain. So based upon what category your knee pain falls into is what you end up specifically needing to do for that injury.
Excellent. Okay, for other injuries, where can people go to find more about you and what you do?
So if you want to if you head on over to exercisesforinjuries.com, you can see what I do. You can, in the search area, you can type in whatever injury you have, and it's a good chance that I'll have some information or exercises on that injury. So head on over to exercisesforinjuries.com.
Yeah, Rick is one smart guy. If you have an injury, this is a good place to start. It will definitely help you out. You gotta get yourself free and heal that injury. Do what you can to make it a lot better, because, like we said, that's going to be a huge limiting factor in what you do. So, highly recommend you check out his programs. They are going to help you.